Welcome back to class, everybody. I am Ethan from the Weebology Podcast, and today I'm going to do another one of my anime in 5 minutes. What the series is, basically I just describe a season of anime or something like that in 5 minutes. Hopefully, wet your beak and get you ready to go watch the whole thing. For this episode, we are doing Great Pretender Season 1, Part 1, and that can be found on Netflix. It's from Anime 2020 Wit Studio, and so far there's only 14 episodes out. I'm going to go through the good, the bad, and just like kind of an overall for it and give you kind of a score of what I think it's going so far. All right, so the good. So first off, the story is great. The show is such a fun ride with a fun take on a Robin Hood type criminal conning bad people and coincidentally helping those in need with the stolen treasure. The show keeps you on your toes, and it's super fun to try and figure out what's going on in each of the parts and how they're going to stick it to the criminal scum and kind of like how they're going to get out of this situation, because nothing ever goes to plan. Let's just say that. Another great, bright spot would be the characters. Each of the main characters have a deep character with a backstory slowly revealed throughout each of the operations. Edamura, the Japan's greatest con man, and obviously our main character, is great, and he also has a insanely tragic background with a desire to turn his life around constantly, but it's one of those situations where he keeps getting pulled back in. So it's great to watch, a lot of fun, and also Laurent, who is the main blonde French guy that you might see on the cover, the title screen. He's wily, magnanimous, head of all the operations essentially, and seemingly he has an endless amount of plans and like ways to get around things. His contingency plans are like unbelievable. Like he knows, basically plans out everything that happens, everything that goes wrong. Like he kind of foresaw, it seems like. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely a sick character, and something I think a lot of different shows could use a character sort of like him, because he's fun even though he knows kind of everything, you know what I mean? And then there's Abby and Cynthia, who add a lot of depth to the cast through their own backstories and individual strengths and methods of how they do their conning and their work and stuff like that. The third thing that's great about this show is the dub. I think it's an absolute masterclass. I think most shows should be dubbed in this manner. It starts off with them subbed and speaking in Japanese to each other, and then they slowly move to their Japanese version of an American accent. And then at some point the show tells us, hey, we're going to stop here, and the rest is all going to be dubbed in English. So it's just very interesting, and I think a really good new look at how to do that, and I really enjoy the execution, so definitely big ups for that. So bad things, and there's not many. The only bad thing I can think of is Edamura, who's the main character. While I do obviously love him and I like his character a lot, I think he's like a little too naive to be considered, Japanese greatest con man, to constantly get, screwed around with by all these other characters. It's just, obviously he's young and his own backstory is nuts, but for somebody who's supposed to be Japan's greatest con man, for him to continually get like tricked constantly is just really, really hard for me to believe. And I really wish throughout this season, obviously only half has been out so far, but I wish they would have shown more of his con craft being honed throughout the season. So for a final overall and rating, I think this show is amazing so far and absolutely one of the best of 2020. Even only through halfway, I think it could qualify as one of the best, and I strongly recommend y'all give it a watch. You can find it on Netflix, so it's pretty easy. And overall, I'd give it probably a 9.4 out of 10, and I will definitely be waiting and just super hyped for season 1, second half here, coming out in fall 2020. All right, please leave me a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of it so far. And I hope you guys check it out, and I will see you on the next one. Adeuces.